Increasing higher education access and attainment is critical to Louisville being able to achieve its dream of being a world-class city and being able to compete in the global economy of the 21st century. And when we started our partnership, Louisville leaders were catalyzed by the statistics that showed us, in comparison to our peer cities, that we ranked in the bottom in terms of education attainment. And we recognized that in order to move forward, we needed to move up in associate degree attainment, bachelor degree attainment, and beyond. We also recognized that we needed to close historic gaps. Students of color, first-generation students were achieving at a much lower level, and we wanted to open up those same opportunities that education provides to the higher quality of life that correlates with education: better health, higher incomes, better living. Our strategy to bring business and community leaders together with the education community was to create a common goal. And that common goal for us was to be at 50% of our population with a college degree by the year 2020. That translated to 55,000 more degrees. And to have a common goal, we had to do more and have a common agenda as well. And so key to that was a neutral convener. And our mayor stepped up, said, my only dog in the fight here is to have a better community, and was able to bring together the presidents and superintendents, the business leaders, and our community executives, leadership executives together. And that common agenda then becomes our common language and a way to work together so that we're not in our own silos. We're all on the same page. Specifically, our business community really stepped up and said, we can do something with our own employees, and how can we affect change there? There were some 100,000, almost 100,000 adults in our community that had some college and no degree, bound to be some of them working for our current businesses. So they created a program called Degrees at Work, funded by the Lumina Foundation, and with our chamber at the helm of that. And there are over 70 companies now that are agreeing to help their employees figure out how to go back and finish degrees. And they're finding that this is creating greater employee engagement and certainly going to help drive their own company's innovation and workforce development. Public reporting of education and attainment information has been critical to 55,000 degrees success. It's core to what we're doing. Each year we publish an annual progress report. We've also put together a founding partner pledges and how they're contributing individually to our community goal, and we update that every year. We have an interactive data dashboard. But we know that data catalyzes action. It creates a sense of urgency. And when we started this, the University of Louisville had a graduation rate in the low 30%. It's now well over 50%. Remediation rates were very high. Our high school graduation rates were very low. So only 1 in 4, 1 in 4 was ninth graders was not graduating high school 4 years later. So these were the things that we knew we needed to improve, and so this annual progress report does that for us. The public reporting then creates this accountability for our efforts. It also shows the public where gains have been made. We can celebrate successes, but it also points to the gaps and areas where action still needs to be done and where we need to identify scalable strategies. So that would be probably the most important thing that we're doing annually as a partnership, is to really examine what the data is telling us about where we're succeeding and what's left to do. So what have been some of our key successes to date? We've seen some great gains in some of the metrics that we're tracking. Since 2010, for instance, the number of public high school students who are graduating college and career ready has doubled. It was about 31% in 2010. It's over 60% now in 2014. Of course, that means we have a long way to go. But our local higher education institutions are also increasing their degree production. More college degrees than ever before, at about 10,000 a year, and that represents a 20% increase since 2010. Metrics aside, we've also seen some of our institutions really respond in terms of practice to their pledge. They've acted courageously, and for instance, Jefferson Community and Technical College and Ivy Tech have both looked at their own data and have joined the Achieving the Dream colleges that are really trying to use their own data to determine the key strategies for improving student success. Both JCTC and our public school system have also set minority goals as well as overall goals, and trying to embed those into their strategic plans. And so our community goal is going to be much more achievable because of these changes in practice that actually having to set a pledge have caused. Advice to others that are trying to mimic the 55,000 Degrees partnership, a couple of simple pieces of advice. One, set a goal. It puts everybody on the same page and gives you something to work together towards. Two, find a neutral convener, somebody that can help people get out of their silos and work together because this is a shared agenda. Three, use data. Use it for accountability purposes, but also to shed light on where the gaps are, where the successes are, and how to move forward. And then last, just try, and don't be afraid to iterate, don't be afraid to fail. We've certainly changed programs like our Count Me In stakeholder pledge effort and our Degrees at Work effort with businesses. We've had to improve those and change those dramatically. They look very different than when we started. And we've learned from other organizations like Strive that has a great phrase of fail forward. Just keep moving, because this work is just too important to our future.